I would just like everything to be out. I want this on the table. And if the Russian government ordered some kind of interference in our election, whatever it may be, even if it was something as what I think is probably relatively inconsequential, as revealing what was going on inside the DNC with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, even if it was that, recall their ambassador, right? Kick them out. Say, we will normalize relations with you when you stop messing with us. If that's the case, and frankly, I believe that if President Obama had definitive evidence, he would have done that a long time ago, because that's how you deal with those kind of things. But, let's get to the bottom of this. Good idea. David in San Francisco. Hey, David, what's up? David, you're on the air. David is not on the air. Bill in Weatherford, Texas. Hey, Bill, what's on your mind?
Hi, Thom. I'm enjoying your conversation a lot today.
Thank you.
I have a question for you about the hacking and the Russia thing.
Sure.
And I think you're right to downplay not the importance of the hacking, but the significance of it as a story, because I feel like it's the giant new shiny object in the room.
That's right. And in the meantime, you've got all these climate change deniers being put in Trump's cabinet, and Rex Tillerson becoming Secretary of State. Rex Tillerson, who has been running basically a petro state, ExxonMobil. I mean, ExxonMobil is bigger than most countries. They have their own foreign policy. They hire local armies. ExxonMobil, where are his loyalties going to be? I mean, this is going to be some very interesting confirmation hearings. But if Trump is planning on turning us into a petro state, look out. Back to you, Bill. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Not a problem. I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Forgetting for just a minute, if we just forget for a minute that, about Russia hacking our election or having collusion with the Trump campaign, how are we not to assume that Trump is engaged right now with this ridiculous, meaningless spat with China in statecraft on behalf of Russia? I mean, he's doing this now. He's trying to pickle our relationship.
Well, let me make a counter argument to that, Bill. What if Donald Trump right now is engaging in statecraft to advance the interests of the United States? Now, it pains me to even hallucinate such an idea, but there have been, because of the relative belligerence of American foreign policy, whether it's all the sanctions we put on Russia over Ukraine, our threat to put NATO missiles in the Baltic states, which I don't think any rational person thinks Trump wants Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. I mean, as I forget who it was said it this morning on Joe Scarborough's show. Russia can hardly pay their own pensions. They want to acquire 3 new states? No, thank you. But what if, and so what's been happening is Russia and China have been growing closer and closer because our military bases are encircling China. We're doing military exercises. We just last year did an exercise off the coast of China that involved pretending that we were cutting off their oil supply the same way that we cut off Japan's oil supply about 4 months before they invaded us at Pearl Harbor, because we had cut off their oil supply. So China and Russia have been growing closer and closer. What if, by saying to Russia, you are not our enemy, we have common interests, and saying to China, we're tired of you taking advantage of us economically, and we are going to challenge you. What Trump is doing is cleaving that relationship between China and Russia. Might that be a good thing for the United States? I'm not sure. I don't know. Or might it completely destabilize the world? One of my producers, Nate Sweet, who works on our TV show, who's a real scholar of World War I, he made the point to me last week. He said, this is very much like World War I. China has exploded on the scene economically in the last 30 years, just like Germany had from 1880 to 1910. And, Germany became, they went from nothing to being the dominant state of Europe. And when that kind of thing happens, it destabilizes everything, all the normal relations. Everybody's reconsidering who they should be affiliated with, who they should be partners with, who's the new big dog on the block. And that led to World War I. And Nate was like, this could easily lead to World War II. And I agree with that opinion. But anyhow, yeah. What do you think, Bill?
Well, I just think it's significant, especially significant that Trump is doing this now. He's doing this now before the electors have even met.
That's right.
he's ruining this relationship as best he can with, let's face it, our economic friend with China. And I feel like I have this funny feeling that, yeah, on the surface it looks like we're making nice with Russia, but I think from Russia's perspective, they don't care, because all they see in the West is an economic sanctioned, basically a war, an economic war with the West since they got messy in Crimea and all that.
Right.
And I think if nothing else, Tom, I feel like this could be revenge. If they manage to ruin this relationship with China, for one thing, it's going to mess our economy up.
Well, and in 2012, when Putin got elected, there was this kind of campaign here in the United States to delegitimize his election. So, that could be revenge too. Who knows? But that's why I'm saying, if the intelligence agencies have this information out before the Electoral College meets, put it on the friggin' table. Thank you, Bill.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann program. Call 202-808-9925.
I mean, we deserve to know. Or at least our senators and our electors and our members of Congress deserve to know.